We're here with head football coach Ben McEnroe as he enters his 9th season with the Kingsmen. Coach, you bring back another solid core of returners in 2015. What are some of your expectations that you have for that group?
Well, we're really just a year older with a very young football team from last year. Towards the end of the season last year, we started, I think it was 9 freshmen the last couple of games. There were a multitude of sophomores that played significantly last year. So it really is a great nucleus. The results the last 2 seasons haven't been where we wanted them to be, but we have picked up some valuable experience and a lot of veteran players coming back. So my expectations for the returners are simply they have a better understanding of what it takes to be successful. They got a taste of that towards the end of the season last year. I was really happy with the way we finished. The last couple games of the year, I would have played anybody in the conference. I think we would have had a chance to win those games. So really excited to work with those returners. They've done a great job in the leadership roles right now through training camp, and just expect that to progress and grow.
And you've been in training camp for a little more than 2 weeks now. What are your impressions of the team so far, and which incoming players have stood out to you?
My initial impression of this football team right now is we have a tough football team. I mean, just a bunch of tough guys, physically and mentally. You look at the way they approach practice, they really enjoy getting after each other. And some teams are very good at that, and they have sort of that brotherly relationship where you can just go and beat on each other and everything's okay in the end. And that's how this football team feels. Very tough, physically, mentally. We put them through a lot. We've done a lot of leadership development activities with them, and we've tried to stress them in that regard. And I've been really happy with the way they've come through that. As far as the new players coming in, I think there's a couple of guys, especially on the offensive line, they're going to have an immediate impact. Bryce Howard has been impressive, as has Ivan Molinaric Campos. Both those guys will see significant playing time in the opener. On the defensive side, it's been a couple of the young guys. Dalton Santos, freshman linebacker, has been extremely impressive early on, and has an opportunity, depending on how the week finishes, to start as a freshman in the first game.
And you talked a little bit of some of the newcomers. Who will be some of the key players overall to watch on both offense and defense in 2015?
Well, I think everything always starts at the quarterback position for successful teams, and I think we're no different. I'm excited that Mike Butler gets his opportunity. He's put in his time. He's put in the work. He's always prepared himself like a starter. I've been impressed from day one with his preparations, and coming into a senior season, it's no different. So I think Mike is poised to have a real solid year for us. Ricky Johnson on the offensive side, we moved him around a little bit last year, returned kicks, played tailback, played a little bit of DB at times, played some receiver. So Ricky, I think he's healthy, he feels good right now, and has been one of the fastest players in camp. He's just got tremendous top end speed, so I think Ricky should have a nice year. Cameron Washington at tailback. He really emerged in spring practice, had a great offseason, was really dedicated to becoming a better player, and you're starting to see that. On the defensive side, E.J. Edinburgh has been a standout throughout training camp. He's sort of the anchor of the defense. He gives us, along with Santos and Cale Dester, really gives us some great length and speed at linebacker. So been impressed with those guys. Defensive line group has been very solid. Worked very hard. Dejan Rothschild, Josh Heidemann, that group, Cody Duffy, those guys have really done a nice job so far.
And overall, what are your goals and expectations for the team this year?
Well, our goal every season is to win the SCIAC championship outright, and we don't want it to come down to tiebreakers and Rose Bowl rules or anything like that. So we want to win the conference outright. That's the only goal that we talk about, but we talk about the decisions and actions necessary to get there. So that would be a goal. Our expectation is just to get the best out of ourselves every day at practice. I know that sounds really cliche, but life is that simple. If you can just live in the moment, and we always talk about being where your feet are, be right there in that moment, and just work to get better every minute of every day. I think we've got enough talent to compete with everyone on our schedule and get a few breaks and bounces, and we expect to be in every game. So that's really it. Our goal is to win the conference, and our expectation is to compete.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this season.
Thank you.